There is a part of you that you have never met, yet it has been quietly running your life for decades. It chooses your partners. It picks your fights. It decides who you trust and who you cannot stand. You believe you are making free decisions. In truth, something older is choosing for you. Carl Jung gave this hidden force a name. He called it the shadow. And tonight, you are going to meet it, possibly for the first time in your adult life. Most people imagine the shadow as something dark or evil inside them. That is not what Jung meant. The shadow is simply everything about you that did not fit. Everything you were told was too much, too loud, too needy. As a child, you learned which parts of yourself earned love. You kept those parts close. The other parts you pushed underground, not destroyed, just hidden, even from yourself. But hidden does not mean gone. Hidden means waiting. And what waits in the basement of your psyche eventually starts running the house upstairs. This is the discovery Jung made over 100 years ago. It still terrifies most of modern psychology. The shadow does not stay quiet forever. It speaks through reactions you cannot explain. It speaks to the people you instantly dislike, through the patterns you swear you will never repeat, through the relationships that end the same way every time, through the version of you that appears under stress. You think you are reacting to the world. You are actually reacting to your own buried material. Consider how this looks in ordinary life. A stranger says something neutral. Within seconds, you feel a familiar heat rise in your chest. You are not responding to them. You are responding to a part of yourself they accidentally touched. The shadow has been activated. Carl Jung first encountered this pattern in his clinical work in Zurich. His patients kept describing the same strange phenomenon. They would meet someone new and feel instant hatred, with no rational cause behind it. Jung began to suspect that what they hated was not the other person at all, it was their own reflection. He wrote that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That single insight changed depth psychology forever, and almost nobody truly applies it. The shadow operates by a quiet rule. Whatever you refuse to see in yourself, you will see in others. Whatever you cannot accept in yourself, you will attack out there in the world. This is called projection. Projection feels like clarity. It feels like you are finally seeing someone for who they really are. In truth, you are looking into a mirror you did not recognize as a mirror. Picture an outlined figure standing in front of a tall mirror. The reflection is slightly different. The reflection holds everything the figure denied about themselves, and the figure points at the reflection in disgust. That is your daily life when the shadow is unconscious. You are arguing with your own reflection. Jung believed every adult must eventually turn and face this reflection. He called this process individuation. Individuation is not self-improvement. It is self-recognition. It is the slow work of meeting every part of yourself you exiled long ago and bringing them home. Now stay with me here, because the next part will explain something about yourself you have never been able to name. You can recognize your shadow by paying attention to 5 specific signs. Most adults exhibit at least 3. The first sign is intense reaction to certain personality types, not mild dislike, disproportionate disgust. If one type of person ruins your day just by existing, your shadow is showing you something. They carry a trait you buried. The second sign is repeating relationship patterns. The same partner in different bodies. The same ending in different cities. When the pattern repeats, the shadow is the choreographer. You are not picking. It is picking for you. The third sign is the version of you that appears under stress. The voice that is not quite yours. The harsh tone, the cold withdrawal, the sudden cruelty you later cannot explain. That is the shadow surfacing. The fourth sign is what you envy. Pay close attention here. What you envy in others is often a disowned strength inside you, a talent you are not allowed to claim. The fifth sign is the dream you keep having, the figure who keeps returning at night. The chase, the locked door, the faceless visitor. The unconscious is rehearsing what the conscious mind refuses to read. If you recognize even 3 of these, you are not broken. You are encountering what Jung called the unlived life. This is the part of you that never got permission to exist, and it has been waiting patiently. Comment below with a single word, integration. That word tells me you are ready for what comes next. Because recognition is only half the work. What you do with the shadow once you see it determines everything. Most people make the same mistake here. They try to defeat the shadow. They try to be more positive, more disciplined, more spiritual, more controlled. This never works. The shadow cannot be defeated. It can only be integrated. Fighting the shadow makes it stronger. Suppression is fuel. Denial is oxygen. Jung discovered something even more uncomfortable about this. The shadow contains your gold. Inside everything you rejected about yourself, there is buried power, buried creativity, buried truth. The anger you were told was bad contains your boundaries. The neediness you hated contains your capacity for love. The selfishness you suppressed contains your sense of self. The shadow is not your enemy. It is your inheritance. So how do you integrate it? Not through force, through honest attention. Here's a practice Jung used with his patients. It takes 10 minutes a night. Tonight, write down 3 people who triggered you today. Beside each name, write the one quality that bothered you. Then read the list slowly. Ask one question of each quality. Where does this live in me? Do not answer with your mind. Wait for the body to respond. The shadow speaks through sensation first. You may feel resistance. That resistance is the doorway. Walk through it gently. This is not therapy. This is not analysis. This is recognition, the first step of individuation. Over weeks, something quiet begins to change. The reactions soften. The patterns loosen. The people who once ruined your day become teachers. They are showing you home. You stop arguing with your reflection. You start meeting it, and the war inside you slows down. This is what Jung meant by becoming whole. Not perfect, whole. A person who has integrated their shadow walks differently in the world. They are harder to manipulate. They do not need others to be small so they can feel large. They do not need enemies to feel righteous. They can hold their own contradictions, the kind heart and the capacity for anger, the gentle voice and the firm no. This is the integrated adult Jung spent his life describing. Most people never become one. Not because they cannot, because no one ever told them this work existed. You are now one of the few who knows, and knowing is the responsibility. The shadow that has been running your life does not have to keep running it, but it will not leave on its own. It is waiting for you to turn around, to stop pointing at the mirror, to start listening. You are not your shadow. You are not your persona. You are the awareness that can hold both. That awareness is your true self. The center Jung called the self with a capital letter. Tonight, before you sleep, do this one thing. Write the name of the person who triggered you most this week. Beside their name, write the trait that disturbs you. Then write one sentence. Where does this live in me? Sleep on the question. Do not force an answer. The shadow will answer in its own time. It always does. If this work spoke to something old inside you, subscribe to the Archetype Code. We go deeper every week. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your messenger. It carries the goals you have been searching for in the world. The work is to listen,